Hello everyone, and welcome back to our little corner of the internet. Tonight, we're venturing into the moonlit world of Meadowbrook, a village so quiet you can hear the stars twinkle. But tonight, a mystery is afoot, and our favorite feline detective is on the case. Meet Whiskers, a handsome black cat with eyes as green as the first leaves of spring. Normally, nights in Meadowbrook are for peaceful slumbers, but not this one. Something has disturbed the tranquility of Mrs. Gable's prize-winning garden, and Whiskers is determined to find out what. Our story begins just past midnight. The world is hushed, painted in shades of silver and shadow. Whiskers is curled up on his favorite windowsill, a perfect picture of feline contentment. But then a sound. It's faint, a soft rustle, almost lost in the gentle whisper of the wind through the rose bushes. For you or me, it might be nothing. But for Whiskers, whose ears are finely tuned instruments of detection, it's a disturbance, a puzzle. His ears twitch, rotating like tiny satellite dishes, homing in on the source of the sound. His emerald eyes, previously half closed in a doze, snap open, wide and alert. The hunt is on. With the grace of a shadow, Whiskers leaps from the windowsill, his paws making no sound as they touch the cool wooden floor. He slips out through his cat flap, a silent black phantom melting into the night. The air in the garden is thick with the scent of damp earth and blooming night jasmine. It's Mrs. Gable's pride and joy, a place usually filled with the gentle hum of bees and the flutter of butterflies. But tonight it holds a secret. Whiskers pauses, his entire body a study in concentration. He stands perfectly still, letting the night's symphony wash over him, filtering out the familiar sounds, the distant hoot of an owl, the chirp of a late-night cricket, and focusing on the anomaly. There it is again, a scratching sound, this time clearer, coming from near the old stone bird bath. Slowly, deliberately, Whiskers begins his investigation. He moves with a predatory stealth that has been passed down through generations of his ancestors. He doesn't walk. He flows, keeping his body low to the ground, a sleek panther in miniature. Every muscle is coiled, ready to spring. He uses the cover of the overgrown lavender bushes, their fragrance thick in the air, to mask his approach. His eyes are fixed on the area around the bird bath, scanning for any sign of movement, any clue that might reveal the identity of the intruder. The moon hangs high in the sky, a silent witness casting long, dancing shadows that make the garden seem like a completely different world. For Whiskers, this is his element. This is where he thrives. As he gets closer, his sharp eyes spot the first piece of evidence. A single, small, downy feather lying on a patch of moss. It's not from any of the usual garden birds. It's too soft, too delicate. He inches forward, sniffing it carefully. It smells of something new, something unfamiliar. He gives a soft, low growl, a sound of pure focus. This isn't just a random disturbance. This is a trespasser. He continues his patrol, his path now more determined. A few feet away, he discovers a small pile of freshly disturbed leaves next to Mrs. Gable's prize-winning petunias. Someone or something has been digging, or perhaps hiding. The plot, as they say, thickens. The sounds are more distinct now, a definite scurrying, followed by a soft, almost comical squeak. It's not the sound of a dangerous foe, not the hiss of a rival cat or the growl of a fox. It's playful. Whiskers is momentarily confused. His detective instincts are telling him to be cautious, but his feline curiosity is urging him forward. He creeps to the edge of the petunia bed and peers through a curtain of green leaves, and that's when he sees it. The culprit, his ears flatten, not in aggression, but in sheer disbelief. All his assumptions about a lurking danger, a midnight marauder, vanish in an instant. There, in the center of a small clearing, is a tiny hedgehog, no bigger than a teacup. It's wrestling with a fallen apple, rolling it back and forth with its snout, making little grunting noises of effort and excitement. But the hedgehog isn't the source of all the noise. Perched on its back, riding it like a little rodeo champion, is a small brown field mouse, squeaking with what can only be described as pure, unadulterated joy. This wasn't a crime scene. It was a playground. The mysterious rustling, the strange scurrying was just these two unlikely friends, having the time of their lives in the moonlight. For a long moment, Whiskers just watches his detective persona melting away. The tension drains from his body. This was not what he expected. He was ready for a chase, a confrontation, a dramatic unmasking. Instead, he found this, a scene of pure, innocent fun. The hedgehog finally manages to flip the apple over, and the mouse tumbles off, landing softly in the grass. It quickly rights itself and scurries back up onto its spiky friend's back, ready for another ride. The sight is so absurd, so utterly charming, that a low, rumbling purr begins to vibrate in Whiskers's chest. He steps out from behind the leaves. The hedgehog and the mouse freeze, their game momentarily forgotten. Two pairs of tiny, dark eyes fix on the large black cat looming over them. The mouse disappears behind one of the hedgehog's spines, peeking out nervously. The hedgehog, for its part, just looks curious. Whiskers lowers his head, sniffing the air between them. He's not a threat, and he wants them to know it. He takes another step closer, and the hedgehog doesn't even flinch. It seems to understand that this powerful creature of the night means it no harm. Whiskers gently nudges the fallen apple with his nose, rolling it towards the two tiny adventurers. It's a gesture of peace, an invitation to continue their game. The mouse, gaining confidence, scurries out from its hiding place and gives a little squeak of thanks. The hedgehog pushes the apple again, and the midnight rodeo is back on. Whiskers sits down, tucking his paws neatly beneath him. His job as a detective is over, but his role as a spectator has just begun. He watches them play, a faint, amused look in his emerald green eyes. The garden is no longer a place of mystery, but a stage for a secret, beautiful friendship. As the first hints of dawn begin to lighten the eastern sky, the little hedgehog and its mouse companion seem to know their time is up. They share one last tumble with the apple before the mouse gives a final cheerful squeak and disappears into a crack in the garden wall. The hedgehog waddles off into the dense undergrowth of the fern patch, leaving the garden once again to its silence. Whiskers watches them go, a silent guardian of their secret. He feels a sense of satisfaction, not from solving a crime, but from witnessing a small, perfect moment of magic. He had set out to find a villain, but had instead found friends. With a final, contented stretch, Whiskers turns and pads back towards the house. The mystery of Mrs. Gable's garden is solved. It wasn't a case for a detective, but a story for a storyteller. As he slips back through the cat flap, the first rays of sun are just beginning to touch the windowsill where his night began. He curls up in the exact same spot, the warmth of the sun beginning to seep into his black fur. To anyone who saw him, he would look like just a normal cat, sleeping peacefully after a night of, well, cat things. But Whiskers knew better. He closed his eyes, the image of a hedgehog and a mouse playing in the moonlight, a pleasant final thought before sleep, and he knew that he would be out again tomorrow night. Not just as a detective, but as a guardian of the garden's little secrets. Thank you so much for joining us on this little adventure with Whiskers. It just goes to show that sometimes the things that seem mysterious or scary are actually something wonderful in disguise. If you enjoyed our story, please give this video a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe and hit that notification bell so you don't miss our next tale. We'd love to have you back. Until next time, take care and keep an eye out for the magic in your own backyard.